Good evening, tubers. Matt M. Roy back once again. Well, Friday. What have we done? We done a week of live streams yet? I'll have to look that one up. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Excuse me. I don't think I'll be able to wear this shirt much longer. You guys remember my Bob's Big Boy shirt here? Yeah, the collar's getting pretty stretched out. And no, that's not spittle. I was taking a drink of water and just kind of spilled it on myself before I started. How is everybody doing tonight? Before you answer, I'm going to share something that my good friend Mary Parrish, Mary, if you're here, this one is something you shared on Facebook. This is a quotable quote, as Peggy Hill would say from King of the Hill. It's a picture of a lion, and it says, "The best revenge is no revenge. Move on, be happy." And that is absolutely true. Life is too short not to be happy. We don't want to hold grudges. And if we hold a grudge, all we're hurting is ourselves. Stephen Barber, George Blakely, and Yanks One fan 09 is here. Nice. I think I know who that is, by the way. It took me a minute to figure that out, but I think I know who that actually is. So let's see, what have we got going on this evening? New things around here. The weather has taken a turn for the cold. And I'm not saying cool, I'm saying cold. Today, we did not even get out of the 60s. And for the next week, the warmest day is going to be Tuesday, Election Day, 68. The other days, we're going to see highs of 61, 58, 61, again on Monday, 68 on Tuesday, 65 Wednesday, 62 Thursday, and a high of 50. 50 on Friday, if you can believe that. Thank you, Samuel Heron, for that $2 super chat. Yeah. Boy, let me see. I am planning on going up the 5th, which is Tuesday, Election Day. So I really have the pick of the days. Now, I will be voting. I hope all of you out there will vote this coming Election Day on Tuesday. It does not matter to me who you vote for. You do not have to tell me who you are voting for, whether you vote Democrat, Republican, Independent. The point is you need to get out there and vote. Voting is it basically is our God-given right by decree in this country. Our founding fathers started a democracy, and we have the right and indeed the obligation to get out there and vote. If we don't get out there and vote, we have no right to complain about the administration that's in power because we didn't do anything to prevent that from happening. That's all I'm going to say on that. But make sure you get out and vote this Tuesday. Baxter. Baxter got shut in. Goody 1450. Good morning from DN Bien Fu. I don't even know if I pronounced that right, but that's about the best I can do. So a few things that are happening in the local news. Let's pull that up real quick. So you guys always ask me, "Hey Matt, what's going on in your neck of the woods?" Well, nothing too great. Typical stuff. I'll go ahead and pull up the news from. Let's see. Local news. James City Police investigator arrested on child porn charges. Oh, that's a great one to start, wouldn't you say? Longtime GOP incumbent Chris Jones faces challenge in 76 House District. Now, it is a big one. We have a lot of local races coming up, and a lot of incumbents are running scared because there are a lot of newbies coming in, and a lot of our administration around here has not been doing the greatest recently, so they're definitely going to get a run for their monies. Money's money, I guess you would say. Chesapeake police to shoppers, secure your purses, lock your doors. And that was a big problem last year around here during Black Friday. more specifically at the Walmarts. I think the one up in Hampton off of Mercury Boulevard, I know they had no less than 4 or 5 cars broken in, mainly because people are rushing to get their Black Friday deals. They get there, they want to get in line, make sure that they get there to get the deals, and they're the first ones there, that they forget to lock their vehicles. And that's one of the worst things you could do, because these criminals are going to take advantage of that. I see it every year, and it's not just in our area. It happens, unfortunately, all over the country. Next, solar power is coming to 5 schools in Newport News. This is actually really cool. And as a matter of fact, my local school here, Western Branch High, was the guinea pig for a solar energy program. Basically, what they did, they took all that real estate, basically the entire roof of the high school, my local high school, and they put solar panels on it. And not only is that providing power for the school itself, but it's also providing power for the local houses around the area. And it was such a success that now they're branching out and doing that for all the schools. Now, am I a big proponent of solar energy? Not necessarily. It has its limits, but let's face it, if you have all that real estate not being used, why not, right? 14 watchers, nice. Brad Smith says hi. Samuel Heron, do Americans like rugby? I don't really follow it. I think that's more of a United Kingdom sport, but yeah. I mean, I've seen it in the past. I know it can get really brutal. I mean, it's even more brutal than American football. Hired Gun says, evening, folks. Evening to you, Hired Gun. Hope you're doing well tonight. You guys can see Baxter's keeping me company. Aren't you, buddy? Let's see how long he stays. I'm actually burning one of those village candles up there. If you haven't seen that yet, you can take a look at my village candle haul that I got yesterday from Harris Teeter, and it was very interesting. I need to pull it up here and see who actually shared that with me. I may not be able to find it now. Okay, here it is. Okay, so basically, this person did it. I'm not going to name names here. I don't know if they wanted to. This person did a blog about the differences between Yankee Candle and Village Candle. Apparently, Yankee candles for years. I think he said Village candles were made in somewhere out in the Midwest, I think. But anyway, the gist of the blog was that the Village candles will actually burn longer. They're more dense, and they cost about 40% less. I really wish I could find that exact article. The one I pulled up was not the one that I read the other day. Let me see. How was that sent to me? Oh, well, I'm sure I'll find it towards the end. So what do we got here? Evening, folks. Mark Covington says hello. And George wants to say hello to Baxter. Hey, Baxter. Hey, Baxter, getting a hello. Baxter, kitty. Good boy. Good boy, Baxter. He's so content being on the chair. He's actually calmed down quite a bit since we first got him. When we first got him, that cat was scared of his own shadow. I think I'm getting close to finding that article. Oh, and that's sweet. Mark wants to know how everybody's doing this evening. Go ahead and answer him if you guys get a chance to. Okay, here it is. When it comes to candles, I've always been a loyal to Yankee Candle products. The one thing is I find off-putting is their prices. So everybody knows Yankee candles are really expensive. This person for Christmas received two large candles that were named Village Candle instead of Yankee Candle. Village candles are also made in the U.S. and from handcrafted premium fragrances. They're based in Wells, Maine. So yeah, basically they're both New England-based companies. But again, Village candles tend to cost about, let's say, about 25 to 30% less. Now, the one beef that she had between the two was that the Village candles, the fragrances seemed a little bit more synthetic smelling than the Yankee candles, but she said not enough to make her basically not buy them. In other words, she still buys Yankee candles, but she will also include some of those Village candles in her purchases. What are you doing? He's just being so cute back there. And what I'll do, if you guys are curious, I'll share the link to that. Robert Francis, Beto O'Rourke dropped out of the presidential race. LOL. Not surprised there. He was way down on the totem pole. On the Democratic side, I think who was ahead? Was it Bernie? Not Bernie Sanders. It was Elizabeth Warren, I think, and Joe Biden. So we got Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, and Bernie Sanders. I think are the three that are still left in the race. Am I missing anybody? I don't know. You guys know I don't necessarily follow it that closely, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see who takes the nomination. And I highly doubt it's going to be Sanders or Biden, mainly because they're PI. In other words, past it. There is something to be said for older age, and you do have wisdom in older ages, but when you get to that age, there are certain things that a president has to be able to do, and unfortunately the two of them, I think, are really showing their age. They've had senior moments as of late, and I just don't think they're going to be in the running. Yeah, I did hear about Bernie actually had a heart attack. Bernie Sanders actually did have a heart attack. It was confirmed. It was a minor one. And he's not totally out. He is cutting back dramatically on public appearances right now. He's taking time to recover. But he is still out there. And, I got to give the guy credit. I mean, think about it. At his age, I mean, let's see. How old is Bernie Sanders? Bernie Sanders is 78 years old, and he's out there on the campaign trail. Even though I don't agree with most of his politics, I have to give the man credit. I mean, he is really a go-getter, and he has a loyal following, honestly. Basically a socialist, a creepy old white guy and a woman who pretended to be Native American. Yeah, I didn't say that I agreed with their politics or the way they conduct themselves, but again, I do have respect for what the man has done. I mean, he is definitely a go-getter. He does not let anything get him down. The lure of power sometimes overrides common sense. Truthfully, it does a lot, and it's not just in politics. It's in everything. They say absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. And that saying rings true so many times. I cannot tell you, over the years, I've had bosses that as they got higher and higher in the company, they became more and more jerks. I mean, that's just the best way to describe it. And it's because they got that freedom and they wanted everything done their way. And when they got up to a certain point, they just didn't really want to listen to anybody anymore. I'm not going to read what Eric wrote, but you guys can read it for yourself if you want. He is being so good, by the way. I am absolutely shocked. All right, so let's see if we can pull some other things up here. Wow. Do you know? Okay, Best Buy. If you shop at Best Buy, they're running a promotion now to where if you have first of all you have to have the reward zone card. If you have the reward zone card and you purchase a product, randomly they will send out surveys. They'll ask you how the product was. Specifically, in my case, they asked my thoughts on the Insignia thermal compound. And just for answering a couple of questions, giving a review of it, they gave me a 25% bonus in my reward zone points. So if you guys keep an eye out for that, if you are a reward zone member through Best Buy, that's their rewards program, and you purchase items, as long as they have your email address, randomly they're going to go ahead and send out surveys. If you take those surveys, you're going to pretty much double up at least on your reward zone points. David New is here. Hi, David New. I mean, I love it when people leave comments and they can't even write. You know, if you can't write, don't leave a comment. I mean, it's amazing how many people leave me comments that I just don't understand. I mean, use plain English. We know how to talk. If you write in another language or using some kind of ebonics or something, I don't understand it. Just don't do it. I found out what Greenbrier Mall's main elevator was broken for 4 years. Now I don't remember that. Are you talking about the glass elevator or the food court elevator? Because they're both cringeworthy. I mean, they are really scary at times. Well, there you go. Mark Company said Best Buy always sends him a survey when he buys something new from them. Yeah, and the reward zone program is really good for the bulk buyer. Like if you spend a lot of money at Best Buy, like I do, I can spend upwards of 2 grand a year at Best Buy, and it does add up quick. I mean, with all the money I spend there, I get at least 150 to $200 of that back a year to go and buy more products. Yes, you have to buy the products at Best Buy, but let's face it, that would probably be money you would be shelling out anyway. So it's definitely worth your time, and it only takes about 3 or 4 minutes to fill it out. Oh, excuse me, itchy nose tonight. Samuel Heron says, I'm addicted to milk. Okay. Kind of an odd addiction. I've heard of people addicted to cigarettes, to alcohol, to chocolate. I've never heard milk. That's a new one on me. Eric goes, I just did a survey for my last experience at the dealer for the oil change. I am expecting a call since I pointed out how I caught them in a lie trying to rip me off. Ooh, that would make an interesting video. Let me tell you guys about a oil change experience that I had years ago, and this was at Tread Quarters. Now, I'm not going to say which one. It really doesn't matter because this was like 15 years ago. At the time, I had my Ford Taurus. I had a 92 Ford Taurus. It was old. It wasn't in the greatest shape. It had the typical 90s, late 80s, early 90s Taurus transmission problems. It didn't shift very well. I had to baby the thing. But it was my second car out of high school, and I liked it. It was the only thing I had. I didn't have that much money. So I got one of those 1999 oil change certificates in the mail saying, yeah, bring it here. We'll do it for $20. And I said, well, you know what? I can afford that. So let me bring it in. So I brought it in, and right away I noticed that they weren't very professional. I went up to the desk and I gave them my certificate. I said, yes, I need to get an oil change. And right away, of course, they were going on about, oh, but your car is over 100,000 miles, so we need to add the high mileage oil to this. And then we need to go ahead and put in some oil stabilizer. We need to do this. We need to do that. And quickly the price was going up, and they quoted me like $68. I'm like, $68 for an oil change? No. So what I said was, look, I appreciate it, but I'm here just to get the basic oil change. And of course, at that point, they're like, okay, we'll do it, but we can't guarantee the work because your vehicle's so old. And yeah, they actually did say that. So they brought my car in, did the oil change. They actually got it done pretty quickly. I was surprised. This is not like it's a quick lube. This is really a tire place. I think 20 minutes I was out the door. So I'm driving home, mind my own business, and all of a sudden I smell something. I'm like, what the heck is that smell? It smells like burning oil. So immediately I pull off to the side of the road, pull the hood release, open my hood. My engine is covered with oil. And then I look, they forgot to put the dipstick in. I'm not kidding you. They actually forgot to put the dipstick in. Now, let me say, the dipstick was there, but what they did was they just went ahead and put it in like halfway. They didn't actually put it all the way in. They didn't seal it with the gasket. And I'm like, what the heck? So I drove it back there. Well, of course, I put it back on. I drove it back there, and I tell you, I had it out with that manager. And I never went back to that place again. Howard Gunn goes, that's why I do not trust anyone else to do work on my vehicle but myself. Well, unfortunately, at the time, I had no choice. I was, just out of high school. I didn't have the money to do it myself because back then, to buy all the stuff to do it, would have cost me about $40, $50. It was cheaper to just bring it there. But I do take your point. I do all my oil changes now, with the possible exception of the Yukon, and that might just be because we can't get it on the lift. Now, if I can get underneath it, I'll do it myself, but the Yukon has the Denali body kit package, so it actually rides really low, so I question whether or not I can get under there without having to jack it up. And if I have to go to the trouble of jacking that thing up, I will probably just bring it to my local quick lube for an oil change. Very dry tonight. The humidity is dramatically down. Believe it or not, it's I'm trying to think. I think yesterday the humidity was like 95%, and we were actually going to go ahead and do the paint on the Yukon on the fender, but it was so humid I was afraid it wasn't going to dry. How do you guys like the lighting, by the way? Remember how I was having issues with my old my mind just went blank. My old fixture up there. It was just an old I think it was actually a T18 fluorescent light fixture I've had since high school. Again, going back to high school. So I replaced it with these LED lights that I got from Aldi. I'll see if I can show you what they look like without drowning it out. But you can see I got 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then 5 right there. And they run on batteries, but they're LED, so they'll last a long time. And it gives just the right amount of light so the camera can pick up my face without actually washing it out. And it's pretty cool. It's controlled by, it's got a remote control, got different colors, so I can go to red. Ooh, red actually looks pretty good. I can go to blue. Use the force, Luke. Use the force. And green. Boy, I kind of actually like the green. Let me go back to white and see what it looks like. So this is white, green, and off. Or, I'm sorry, this is blue, not green. Green and off. So yeah, pretty cool little thing. I got it at Aldi. It was like $15, and then the remote's pretty cool. You can even adjust the intensity, so I can dim it. Actually, I probably will dim it a little bit. That seems a little bit better. And it's even got a timer setting, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 or 2 hours. You can see them right up there. And it's really cool. The way it tells you if you've set the timer right, the lights will blink once. So now it's set for an hour. It'll turn off automatically in an hour. Eric, my truck takes 8 quarts of synthetic. The board says $59.99 plus fees. Which comes to $65. I go and pay, and he tells me it's $70 or $69.99. I ask why. He panics and runs back to the podium and comes. Oh boy. It could be the shop fee too. You know, they'll actually charge you a shop fee for like the rags and the paper towels and all the things they have to do the oil change. Back a minute later, claiming that the price went up, but he changed it back to the original price. I'm telling you, it's the shop fee. It happens that way all the time. I wonder how many people he successfully ripped off that day doing this thing I mentioned above. Yeah, there's a lot of shady stuff like that, and people do it because sometimes they have to make a living. I mean, let's face it, if everybody went in for that $19.99 oil change and that's all they ever did, they would lose money. Believe it or not, these places lose money on that $20 oil change. It's really what they call a bait and switch. It's the classic con game. They're putting this in the Val pack or whatever penny saver you have because they're hoping you're going to go in and they're going to be able to upcharge you for a better package. Or if you don't agree to that, then chances are they're going to find something wrong with your vehicle in the process and basically tell you got to get this fixed. Hope you don't know better, that you don't really need to get it fixed, and then you'll have to pay a whole bunch more money. It's the classic bait and switch. I don't like it. As a matter of fact, that's one reason I left the sales floor at Best Buy, because I didn't like the way that they did the sales back then, basically. And it's still the same way. You have your weekly ad that has El Cheapo computers, you know, $299, $399, $499 desktops. Maybe at that time laptops were still like $500-$600 minimum. And people would come in wanting those laptops or desktops, and we were obligated to upsell them, to make them buy something better than what was advertised. And if we didn't do that, we could actually get written up. I was actually written up multiple times because I refused to do that. And the reason I refused to do that is I knew my customers. I knew the ones that were coming in could not afford these more expensive computers. And on top of that, moreover, they didn't need these expensive computers. What they were doing with them, the $299, $399, $499 computer special was more than enough. So it's just one of those things. It's part of the free enterprise. It should be illegal. In this state, I don't believe it is, but I don't know. Maybe we can change that. Maybe the new administration will. Mark says, where can I find those lights at? Aldi. Now, if you want this lighting system from Aldi, you're going to have to act fast because I think they're going to stop stocking this. What is this, Friday? Either Saturday or Sunday. So make sure you go to your local Aldi. $15, really, really good deal. I like the way you can customize it, and I really do like the multi-colors. That's pretty cool. Mood lighting, as we would have called it in the 70s and 80s. The shop's fees are $4.99, and it has been that way since I started. I've actually seen ones where it's more expensive than that, but yeah, that's probably typical. Eric goes, I know a few shops that say they don't want to do the $20 oil change because they don't want the $20 oil change customers. Malik's Auto says that he purposely has his $5 more expensive than his $5 more expensive than others. So basically, he's actually what he's doing is better than most of these other places. He's basically saying, all right, we're going to give you a better oil change. We're just going to charge you $5 more. So I actually kind of like that idea. But again, I'm going back to the fact that a lot of people really just need that $20 oil change. I'll give you guys a great example. My fleet, with the possible exception of the Yukon, which I will be using synthetic oil in, my 96 Tahoe and my 2000 Buick LeSabre do not need anything more than the basic oil, i.e. the SAE 10W30, 10W40, whatever is on special. Don't let anybody else tell you different. They're not high performance engines. Those engines have run reliably on that oil since they were new. So, you know what? It's not something that's probably going to change. But if you're intelligent and you do your research as a consumer, you won't get ripped off. 12 watchers and 9 likes. Awesome. I figured we'd be a little bit down tonight, mainly because it's Friday. Everybody's out partying. Oh, before I forget, I took my bike out twice today because I was a bad guy. I went to Golden Corral, a place I said I would never go back to, but we had a funeral today, and that's where everybody wanted to go. So I said, okay, let's go to Golden Corral. And I kind of pigged out. I had two plates, not big ones, but I had 2 plates, and I had a couple of desserts. I had a piece of carrot cake and some bread pudding, and actually I had a little bit of ice cream too. But sometimes you got to treat yourself. However, since I did that, I knew that I needed to get some exercise in. So I went on a bike ride, went over to the thrift store, and they didn't really have anything. They didn't have a chance to put out any electronics or anything like that today. But I went into the area where they keep the stuffed animals, which is consequently right next to the electronics. And guess what I found? How many of you guys have seen this or remember this? How many are old enough to remember Teddy Ruxpin from back in the 80s and 90s? Now, this is not one of the original Teddy Ruxpins. This is a modern version. And I actually looked this up online. This retails for almost $100 online. And I actually paid, if you can see the price tag there, $3.98, so $4. The way this one actually works, and I haven't actually gotten it to work yet because you actually have to work it through your phone. It's Bluetooth. You pick it up here. You got 4 AA batteries, and you can turn it on with this switch here, and then that's your power light right there. And then if you push this button right here, it'll connect to the Bluetooth. You can see the little green light will start blinking. You can kind of see it there. And you can actually load stories onto it via the USB port, but it's really supposed to work through your smartphone. And basically what it does is he reads stories just like the old one used to with the cassette tapes. And he's even got LCD eyes. Check that out. Isn't that cool? So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with him. I mean, it's not really something I need to keep. What I'll probably do is resell it because, again, it's worth some money there. So when you guys and gals are out there at your thrift stores, charity shops, secondhand stores, keep an eye out for stuff like this. Believe it or not, I was shocked at how much he is worth, even used. Eric goes, my truck takes fully synthetic 0W20 because of the very valve timing system, relies on oil pressures, plus the lightweight oil, it helps with fuel economy. That's actually a good thing nowadays because we don't really need to be using a lot more fuel than is necessary, especially if gas prices go back up. But I will let you know, they have had issues with those variable valve timing engines. That's why you want to make sure you always do your oil changes. And I think those even will benefit from periodic software updates, but I'm thinking those probably come automatically to you, especially since you bought it new. Eric goes, I watch a guy that reviews different stuff. He did grilled cheese makers. I actually have a couple of those. He got his trainer at the gym on camera when he told him that due to the reviews, he ate 8 grilled cheeses that day. Oh, man, I'm sure his trainer was like this. Or something like that. Oh. Yes, George, I do remember that. The original Teddy Ruxpin had a cassette player. I actually still have my original Teddy Ruxpin packed away somewhere. CFWW said, take it to bed with it like Klinger on MASH. Radar. It was Radar. But yeah, I get your point. I don't know. I think I'm too old to sleep with a teddy bear, though. I guess technically Radar was about my age when he did. So, yeah. I don't know. I actually read somewhere that sleeping with a stuffed animal or really any animal, I mean, heck, a cat, a real or not, actually promotes good sleep. So, yeah, maybe I'll try it. I haven't been sleeping all that well lately. Higher Gun goes, I was trying to say my sister had one of those in the 80s. I swapped heavy metal cassettes in there to put a scare into them. I can imagine. I've seen videos of that on YouTube, people doing that, and the facial expressions I think would actually still move, just wouldn't make any sense. And I don't know why, but there we go, my mouse stopped working. Matt, what is your favorite brand of weight of motor oil? Mark Covington asks. It's hard to say. Pretty much whatever's on sale. Honestly, I usually just use O'Reilly's house brand, and then of course the weight depends on the vehicle. So it probably I would just say go with the house brand unless you have a really high tech engine. Then you're probably better off with going with something like Pennzoil or Quaker State. A lot of people I know really love Quaker State. I don't have oil brand loyalty. 36 minutes in, 11 watchers, 10 likes. Yeah, we are way down tonight. But again, that's to be expected. It's a Friday night. Boy, I'm so sorry. It is really dry tonight, though. It might be because I have my heater on. However, last year I replaced my standard ceramic heater with an infrared heater, and the reason I did that was the infrared heater is not supposed to dry your skin out, but I still find it does. It especially dries my mouth out. Eric goes, AutoZone store brand is made by Phillips 66 in North Jersey. It's interesting. I didn't know that. I'm trying to do a little multitasking here tonight, folks. You know, I'm not great at multitasking, but since I'm going to be starting a temporary job, I need to get better at it again. My worst trait, hands down, is my handwriting. I would be embarrassed for any of you to see my handwriting. When I was in school, my teachers made me type everything. When they would let the other kids in school, write out their assignments, I had to type it up. If there was a computer in the class, I was sitting in front of it typing up my assignment because my handwriting was that bad. And I know, before you say anything, Eric, I know you told me yours is that way too. Probably because we're in too much of a rush. If I take my time and really concentrate, like more time than anybody would ever have to write something out, then yeah, my handwriting would be legible, but it's just not going to happen. Harga, most house brands are made by name companies. Differences would be in the detergent packages in the oil. That's a good point. It's the same thing with gasoline. When you go to a place like Shell, and then you go to a place like BJ's Gas or Sam's Club Gas, you're really getting the exact same fuel. It's all coming from the same refinery. The difference is what they add into the gas or the oil, and it's really cool. It is literally a package of different detergents, and that really does make the difference. I'll give you guys a great example. My 96 Tahoe runs a heck of a lot better on Shell's V-Power high test than it does on the regular BJ's or Sam's high test. And a lot of it I know has to do with the detergents they use. So, yeah, I mean, the better gas does make a difference in your vehicle. Don't let anybody else tell you different. It will. especially Shell. I find that Shell gas does the best for most of my vehicles. Mark Covington, do you think audio cassettes may make a comeback to the music stores? Oh, they already have. Matter of fact, my local FYE is starting to stock audio cassettes. My local Best Buy, even though their biggest music areas is pretty much LPs, records, even they have a small audio cassette section now. So yeah, they've already come back, and I am very happy about that. I love cassettes. Eric Brunhammer, I ran BJ's gas in the Silverado the other month, and it ran like S blank 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 and averaged about 11 miles per gallon versus about 16. I'm assuming with wherever you get gas usually. I've had hit and miss results with BJ's gas. My Tahoe runs pretty crappy on BJ's gas. The LeSabre runs fine with BJ's gas, and I have not tried the Yukon with it. I could tell you the Chrysler Town and Country ran really well with it, but I don't know. It probably just depends on the vehicle. Sunoco 89. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cringe there, but I will never, ever go to a Sunoco again. The reason is when we lived in New York, we had two gas stations back to back, the closest ones to our house. One was a Hess and the other was a Sunoco. We always went to the Hess because they had the convenience store, and I used to get a breakfast sandwich or something like that. Well, one day we went there, and Hess was out of gas because the town had a power outage for like a week due to a snowstorm, and we had no choice. We had to go over to the Sunoco. Well, we got gas there. Halfway home, our truck broke down. Turns out there was water in the gas. I mean, more than is allowed. Is allowed some water and fuel, but it was enough to actually damage didn't damage the engine. But I remember we had to get the gas pumped out and we had to replace the fuel filter. And ever since then, I will never go to a Sunoco again. CFWW, have you used any of your SSDs yet? Yes, I have. As a matter of fact, I've built up about 3 or 4 systems using those SSDs, though I still have quite a few left. Sorry you had to see my butt there for a minute. This is what I have left of the ones that I bought from Best Buy over the last 2 weeks. These are the really good deals. I have 3 of the PNY CS900s left. These are actually really decent SSDs. 240 gigabytes for $30, and performance. I've run Crystal Disk Mark with these, and read speeds, it boasts read speeds of 535 megabytes per second read and writes of 500 megabytes per second, and it's not far off. I mean, we're talking about within 50 megabytes per second. So if you have a Best Buy near you, highly recommend picking those up. And I still have 3 of the SanDisk SSD Plus drives. These boast around the same speeds, maybe slightly higher on the read. Yeah, actually slightly lower on the read. And believe it or not, in actuality, I found the PNY slightly faster in Crystal Disk Mark than the SanDisk. And the SanDisk for the same size, 240 gig, is $10 more. So between the two, I'd go with the PNY myself. I know, Eric. I know. I don't mean to put Sunoco down, but you ever heard of getting a bad taste in your mouth? Well, that's what Sunoco did to me, and I just can't bring myself to go there. I'm sorry. That's just me. That's just me. Mm-hmm. I'll have to answer that later. All the time when I'm doing a live stream, even late at night like this, people want to get me for one reason or another. Isn't that right, Baxty? What you doing? Meow. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. Look at the way he has his paw like that. Isn't that funny? I mean, how is that comfortable? Oh, look at this. He did this before. Check this out. Check this out. What you doing? I'm gonna see if he'll go into the backpack. You want to go in? Want to go in? You went in before? Come on. He's not going to do it now. He is a funny cat, I'm telling you. Right before I started this live stream, he went in that backpack and laid down. It was amazing. I wish I got it on camera. Brad Smith, another thing to look out for at oil change places is service people smoking on the job. That happened to me once, never went back. That's kind of scary. Combustible material and cigarettes don't mix. They need to switch to vaping. Though I'm not a big proponent of that either, not with all these people that are having lung damage from it. Mark Covington, I usually buy my gas at Wawa or 7-Eleven. Wawa has pretty good gas. I've had good luck there. I buy 93 octane because my 2008 Chevy HHR requires 91 or higher octane. Yeah, so does my Yukon, and it's recommended for the Buick because that's got the 3800 in it. The only one I don't have to put it in high test in is the Tahoe. So that's just a 5.7. I mean, that's just a 350 Vortec. I mean, that could run on anything really. What are you doing? Come on, we're gonna let you say hi. Say hi, Baxt. Say hi, Mr. B. Say hi, big baby. Yeah. No, he's gonna miss me. If I'm really gone for almost a month, he is really gonna miss me. Dad's gonna have to give you a lot of attention. He is definitely my cat more than Milo, and if I'm gone for any length of time, he does not like it. Cats can get separation anxiety just as much as dogs. You're a good guy. You're a good cat. Eric goes, I worked at Wawa from 2002 to 2003-ish as a gas guy. There are a lot of policies there that allow me to trust their fuel. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. I know I don't make it a policy of mine to know the policies of every gas station's policies. But I like to know people that work there. And if they, especially you, Eric, if you say you trust it, I trust what you say. CFWW, I have a lot of SanDisk external SSDs and have had great luck with them. Also have used ADATA SSDs with no problem. I've had a couple ADATAs in the past, and they always seem to work really well. And I'm not saying the SanDisks aren't good SSDs. They're excellent SSDs. But for the price, you're better off going with the PNY, $10 less for the same size drive and better performance. And in my experience, at least, PNY has gotten a lot better. Now, if we were talking PNY 10 years ago, I would have said run as far as you can. But PNY is heads and tails gotten better than they were. I would say at least 40, 50% better than they used to be. Isn't that right, buddy? Matt can't talk tonight. Matt has done too much exercising and his brain is fried. Isn't that right, Baxty? Yeah, you're a good cat. He's a good boy. He's kind of mesmerized right now. What happened? Doesn't like me touching those legs. Okay. It's okay. Look at you. Look at you, buddy. Look at you, Mr. Kitty. So what else do we want to talk about tonight? Remember, this is Friday. We should call this Friday free-for-all. I mean, the other day was too, but Friday we all are done with the work week. We want to kind of veg. We want to just think about the 2 days we have for the weekend, though I never take a vacation. I work 7 days a week, really. His coloring on his face makes his normal facial expression kind of like he just found out how bad his credit score was. Really? You have a sad face? Yeah, he's got really nice looking eyes, though. And tufted ears. You got tufted ears, don't you, B? It's okay. Oh, good boy. Now, one thing, if you own a cat and you want to calm them down, you can grab the scruff of their neck here. This doesn't hurt them. There's no nerves here. Matter of fact, this is how the mother carries them when they're kittens. And you just pull on it a little bit, and you see how he's very calm right now? It actually calms them down when you do that. So if I stop, his eyes will open up and he'll want to get down again. But if I go ahead and pull on it again like this, it calms him down. Almost kind of puts him in a trance. No, he's not a sad kitty. He's a happy cat. You're a happy cat, Baxt. You ready to get down? Okay. Put him down. That's actually much longer than I can usually hold him. 5 minutes is usually about it. Where were Milo and Baxter born? Honestly, I don't know, because we got Baxter when he was about a year old, Milo when he was about 6 months old. Well, 4 months old. If I had to guess, judging by where I got them from, I would say Suffolk or Isle of Wight, because they came from the Isle of Wight Humane Society. So probably around there. Oh yeah, Eric, go to bed early. You get up at 5 a.m. You want to get some decent sleep. I myself have to get up early tomorrow because we go to breakfast with the car guys. So I'm probably going to head to bed. Well, pretty much after I end this live stream, which is going to be in about 10 minutes. Fair warning, 10 minutes. Increase the light here a little bit. Actually, that's just about right. Change to the mood lighting. Ooh. Just having some fun. Oh. Yeah, I'd love to see the footage from there. I think that'll be pretty cool. Maybe compile it into a little vlog or something. See if I can get this in the trash. Yes! Number one shot. Nothing but net. Not doing a vlog. Oh, well. That's okay. Vlogs are not easy, to be honest with you. Out of everything I do, the vlogs take the most time. And we're talking, you got to film all the stuff. You got to hope people are okay with you filming everything. And then you got to come home and edit it all together. I know you guys enjoy it, and I do enjoy doing the vlogs for you, but it just takes a lot of time. $5 super chat from Mark Covington. Thank you so much, Mark. Super chat sticker. Oh, cool. I never noticed that. You could send, if you click on it, depending on how much you send, you can do a different sticker. Like for $2, you can get a turkey. $4, you get a chick holding a cup of coffee. $10 gives you a chick that goes thank you and looks like it's praying. That's a weird one. Huh. They are changing it up, though. I'll be honest with you. YouTube is doing some really good things, especially with these live streams. It's gotten a lot better. It's smoother, more steady. The audio quality is even better. I've had a lot of you tell me that I even sound better now since they changed the algorithm. The more you donate, the more characters you can type too. Interesting. It's really nice that they offer that. And again, I never solicit funds. And matter of fact, the one time I was thinking of doing a Patreon page, I decided not to do it, and a GoFundMe page, just because I didn't feel that it was the right thing to do. But I like the super chats because that allows you to give me a tip if you think I'm doing good, if I'm entertaining you, which hopefully I am on a regular basis. Paxter, what you doing? What you doing, buddy? We're going to take some of the super chat money and get you guys some good food. When I go up there, I'm going to try to buy more of that holistic wet food because I really don't like the 9 lives that I've been feeding these guys lately. But the holistic stuff, at least around here, costs like $2 per serving. That's really too expensive. All right, everybody, I think I'm going to end it here. We've kind of died down. I noticed most everybody is left. Thank you so much for coming to the live stream. Probably not going to be doing one for a few days. Thinking probably going to do a vlog when I'm heading up to New York and then maybe do some live streams when we get up there, especially late at night because I'm going to be working pretty hard. So there may not be a lot of vlog material, but I will definitely try to do live streams when I'm up there. Please continue to like and subscribe. Thank you once again to Mark Covington and Samuel Heron for the super chats. And as always, have a blessed day and enjoy your weekend.